After the world found itself wrapped in a global and vicious war, the heroic freedom fighters of the resistance found themselves on the back foot in the air and sea by the Confederation counterparts. To circumvent this, the resistance designed its own array of strike aircraft. Few, however, could match the horror instilled in Confederation soldiers as the Dragonfly. Manufactured in the early 2040s by the Resistance's engineering corps, the Dragonfly was a light attack helicopter made to fulfill roles such as reconnaissance, patrolling, and air support by engaging any enemy infantry, vehicles, fortifications, or other low-flying aircraft, and as a transport aircraft to ferry troops and light cargo. The Dragonfly was built around a central semi-monocoque fuselage that was painted camel green and reinforced with sturdy aviation armor. The helicopter body of the Dragonfly was built from an unknown material. However, I was going to make a guess, I would say the material would be titanium. Unlike the Confederate Cyclone, the Dragonfly couldn't fire its weapons while moving horizontally. The titanium armor also significantly added to the Dragonfly's weight to cross-section, ultimately making the craft slower and easily detected. The aviation armor also couldn't protect the Dragonfly against concentrated AA fire or fighter aircraft. Unlike its Confederation counterpart, the Dragonfly's design was based around its single main rotor placed at the center of gravity. The rotor had 4 blades on top of a semi-rigid or rigid rotor head. However, the application of power to this center rotor causes a strong torque effect that is countered by the tail rotor at the back of the craft. The tail contained 2 rotors and was shrouded for lesser noise output. The Dragonfly was crewed by a singular pilot who was responsible for both flying the aircraft and acquiring and engaging targets. Pilots wore a standard black lightweight flight suit with cooling functionality and helmets to advisors protect the pilot's eyes and potential night vision. The cockpit was protected by 6 panels of blue tinted glass with 4 under the nose of the craft. Around it were rusted sheets of metal welded to the doors. Inside the cockpit was all the necessary equipment to pilot the helicopter, such as the throttle, cyclic, anti-torque pedals, etc. The Aviation Weapons Control System, or AWCS, which was necessary for using both of the Dragonfly's armaments, was also housed in the cockpit. Other things kept in the cockpit were the crankshaft, used to control the tail rotor's pitch, the Aviation Repair Complex, which was used to conduct emergency repairs while still in flight, comm systems, and radar, amongst other things. The Dragonfly could carry 1 fully loaded container of resources or a singular cryo capsule. The chopper could also carry 2 to 5 fully geared personnel. The Dragonfly carried 2 main ornaments, the first being the Lockheed Breech helicopter machine gun mounted to the aircraft's nose. The gun had armor-piercing ammunition chambered in 14.5mm. The gun could fire against infantry vehicles and low-flying aircraft. The gun was capable of firing a minimum of 150 rounds a minute, making it very effective against Confederation infantry, although Confederation heavy assault squads are a serious danger to the aircraft. The gun is extremely modular and is compatible with multiple types of munitions, the most notable of them being HM ammunition that features a uranium core, allowing for greater damage against all targets, but is seldom used due to cost and instability. The Dragonfly's second ornament was its twin-guided missile launchers mounted on both sides of the helicopter. Each launcher kept 7 Wasp-class self-guided missiles. The missiles were fire and forget, allowing the pilot to focus elsewhere after they fired. The missiles were very effective against medium and lightly armored targets such as the Confederation's Hammer tank. The missiles were extremely useless, however, against heavier armor such as shield matrices or hardened ceramic armor. The missiles could also be used against low-flying aircraft such as the Cyclone or surface vessels like the Delta. Throughout its long combat record, the Dragonfly has participated in many key events. The most notable are as follows. The Dragonfly was first seen destroying Torrent batteries in a resistance effort to transport resources in an area under Confederation Army control. They were then seen again in a mission to steal warheads from the Libyan missile program. Another mission had them destroy the Confederation's base in central Mali. 6 of them again participated in the Battle of Newfoundland, multiple were seen guarding the warehouse in Sudan, and finally they participated in the mission to stall the space program. Thanks to the Dragonfly and its heroic pilots, the Resistance Air Force has a desperate leg up on its Confederation equivalent. As always, while it is impossible to guess how the evolving global landscape may turn out, one thing remains clear. Few sounds are as universally chilling to the spines of Confederation soldiers, crewmen, and sailors alike as the quad blades of the Dragonfly attack helicopter.